Welcome everyone, Andy here. Today we're going to do our Sniper Scalping recap series. Recap, excuse me, and we're going to focus on crude oil. Yesterday we highlighted the DAX, which was absolutely outstanding. And today we'll go ahead and see how crude oil did today. I'll tell you, it was a breath of fresh air to see the price action that we've got today. Really nice to see the return of high quality momentum, follow through, and pace to the market. Pretty much all day today, across the board, whether it be the DAX, gold, crude oil, whatever, all the markets, or the majority of the markets, had quality form flow, pace, momentum, follow through. These are the types of characteristics that we're used to seeing during non-summer trading conditions. And we're trying to break out of summer now and get into the fall, some of the best day trading conditions of the entire year. And today was a good example of what we can expect. And it was very refreshing and very nice to participate in and to see. So let's go ahead and dive right in, take a look at how the Sniper Extreme Blackline Cross signal fared today in crude oil. We'll start our morning at 8:45 a.m. Eastern Time. You can see our black line here is up in the colored area. It crosses down into the gray area, giving us a short signal. Pops right back up for reset and goes down again. That's why you see two signals there. We treat that just as one signal, and it's a huge win. If you're an individual who holds for bigger targets or has multiple contracts available to you and you scale your contracts out, wow, lots of profit available there. Let's take a look. 96.11 down to 62, so 51 ticks available on that move to the downside. Then you'll see our black line crosses from the gray area back to the colored area. We get our automated long signal to fire. This is a trade where we get to average in at a value entry using the robust stop management strategy. You can see our action line, our black line on our extreme never traded down at all. It never went against us. So even though the market pulled back a little bit, our black line was telling us, don't worry about it, we're going higher. So we could have added on to that trade at value, and sure enough, it went higher. And if you held on, more than 50 ticks available on that move to the upside. For those of you that are new to the Sniper and maybe just watching some of these recap videos for the first time, one of the things that we pride ourselves on how we developed the Sniper, how we created it to be, is to be very visual in nature. And that's what makes it one of the, makes it more easy to assimilate for new traders, is its visual nature. And I think that'll become more apparent the more you hang out with us and watch how it works. So we get another black line cross here, very similar to what we saw in the first trade of the day. Two signals back to back, we really treat it as one. And there's not as much profit available here, but there's more than you think. There is a quality 8 or 9 ticks available from standard entry. And then if you averaged into the trade on this pullback at value, you could have got even more on those contracts. So not a very big win available there, but a win nonetheless. And then right off to the races, 3 gorgeous buy trades in a row during this huge move to the upside. Remember, these are auto-generated signals, not things we put on the chart after the fact. In fact, everyone hanging out with us live in our live trade room were able to participate and watch these signals paint in real time. The black line cross from the gray area to the colored area, signal fires, huge winner to the upside. And that looks to me to be about a 90-tick winner available there. We pull back just enough to get reset. You see the black line came down to gray line number 1. Not enough to generate a sell signal, but enough to get reset. Then we go back up into the colored area. Signal fires again, another huge winner. And then the same thing happened again. We get reset, not enough to generate a short signal. boom, long again for a win. Notice how we have some downside divergence on our OS, telling us, you know what, it might be a lower rated time to go short because of the huge move to the upside, but it's viable. We have some other confirming factors, a little bit of a triple pivot divergence to the downside there. The black line crosses from the colored area to the gray area, initiates the signal short, auto signal, boom, nice big winner. And that's close to 20 ticks available there, 17 ticks available or so. Nice little trade. First losing trade of the morning here on the buy side. May have been a little hard to stay off of for some traders as the action line was sloping up. However, it was a significant topping area, and more conservative traders that look for a little bit higher level confirmation certainly would have been able to stay off of that trade, but we'll mark it as a loser. We roll back to the short side, and it's not a big winner, but there is 8 or 9 ticks available on that short on the sell side. Of course, we're pretty interested as we break out above this prior pivot high on this long signal. We're interested in getting long again. We consolidated, didn't move meaningfully lower. Odds and probabilities favor continuation to the upside. The sniper extreme black line cross gets us into the trade. Boom, huge run to the upside. Standard sniper signal sell here at the extreme high for a nice win. We talked about this trade in some specific detail. This was a spike move higher. All this price action to the upside occurred in about 30 seconds, making this short a much lower rated short to get into. We didn't have the action line moving lower, so there are a lot of reasons to stay off of this short. After we retest and form a retest pivot, a minor double top, now a much higher rated opportunity to get short. If this market had just traded straight down from there without retesting, that's what we would consider to be spike price action. That only happens about 15% of the time. So that makes this signal to go short here quite a bit lower rated. However, if you wait to get short after that retest, now you're looking at a much higher rated probability. Still an aggressive trade because it's majorly counter trend, but a much higher rated opportunity, and you could have had yourself a winner. The truth is, I need to mark this trade with a winning circle. If you were using the robust stop management strategy, you would not have been stopped out on this trade. Now, you would have taken a lot of heat, and not everybody would have been able to survive that. But the robust stop management strategy, we wait for the market to tell us where to place our stop. We put a catastrophic stop in always. You never want to enter the market without a stop. Then we move that catastrophic up when the market tells us to. And the market never really told us to move our stop up. What we're looking for is the black line to move against us twice, 2 times in a row. And you can see it moved once, and then down, then once. Never moved against us twice. So our black line, our extreme pulse indicator was telling us it's okay. The market is going to move lower. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. I personally would not have executed this trade here based on all the other criteria I talked about. I would have been waiting for the retest, and then I would have gotten into this trade for a nice winner. Another way to have played it is to enter that value as long as the pulse extreme was telling us it was okay. So instead of entering there, you enter 8, 10, 12 ticks back at value as long as the pulse extreme is still saying it's okay, which it was. Either way, that turns into a huge winner if you had the patience and fortitude to stick with it. Another trade here where you had to have some patience and fortitude was right here. This took about 16 ticks worth of heat. So again, the robust stop management strategy definitely can take some heat sometimes, but it produces, as you've seen in the recap videos over the last several weeks, and today again, it can produce some very high win percentages. So you would have taken some heat here. We did get the black line to move against us twice in this case, so we would have locked up our stop 3 to 4 ticks below this bar. So our stop would have been in place, and we would have been in jeopardy of getting stopped out on this trade, but it didn't happen. The market turned. We would have entered a second time at value. That's how I trade with the robust stop management, and we would have been off to the races for a big win. Nice short trade here just after 10 o'clock. Again, took a little bit of heat, but not too bad. Boom, huge winner. We talked quite a bit about this trade live. Really nice divergence to the upside. Triple pivot divergence here available on this buy in our OS. You can see our oscillator line sloped up massively. The price action was flat. That shows us huge divergence. And then once again, price action is flat between pivot 2 and 3, and the OS is up hard again. Gives you a whole lot of confidence to be willing to go long on the Sniper Extreme Black Line Cross when you have that kind of upside divergence. Boom, big winner. Some of these things I'm talking about today, guys, are the types of things we've been emphasizing over the summer. We've been teaching you guys to be traders and not robots. Clearly, the robot can kick some tail very frequently. And that's what's so exciting about the Sniper. But you can always do better than the black box robot. It's nice to know you got a good one in the cupboard to use, but you can always outperform. And that's why we teach you a lot of the nuances we've been working so hard on over the summer to make you guys the best you can be. Black line touches our first gray line. We got to get to a second gray line with a down close to get a short. We do not initiate a short. We got a nice move up. We're ready to go long. Boom. This trade is probably, let me put a big red line through that one, not a trade that most people would execute because that was right before crude oil inventory reports came out, so we won't really count that one, but you can see it was a nice winner. And then this is far enough after the report was released. Gorgeous, huge winner to the downside, and we got another winner to the buy side here. Using the robust stop management strategy, you would have added on to this at value for a nice winner, and that's where the market is live. So let's add it up. Since 8:45 this morning, we got 1 win, 2 wins. We won't count this one. 3, 4, 5, 6. We're not counting the standard Sniper. 7, 8, and 1 loss. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 14, 15 winners on 1 losing trade using the robust stop management strategy today in crude oil. Guys, one thing I want to point out, for those of you that are watching these recap videos, listen, we tend to highlight a market that has done well each day, right? And one of the things that's so powerful about the Sniper is almost every day there's a market that has done extremely well. That's a pretty encouraging thing. I want to go on record as saying crude oil does not trade for 15 winners and only 1 loss every single day. Gold does not trade at 15 winners and 2 losses every single day, the DAX and so on. But basically almost every day, these are real results. Almost every day, one of the markets that we follow has had a phenomenal day. And those are the markets we tend to highlight in the recap. So, you tend to always see something really great in the recaps. I don't want to mislead anyone to think that every market is always trading at that incredible level, because that's not the case. However, they generally trade pretty doggone effectively. Those of you that hang out in the live room see that for your own eyes every day. And there's almost always one market that trades pretty extremely well, and that's what you see and evidenced during the recap videos. So we're blessed to have tools and systems that work this well. But the last thing I want to be accused of is, that everything's always a winner, because that's not how it is. Trading's difficult even when you have great tools. But the good news is, here at the ATW, we're here to support you, and we stand behind our clients, and we help you day in and day out to get over the psychological barriers that you have in place, most people, that makes it hard to succeed at this. It's not the actual doing that ends up being hard, guys. It's getting out of our own way. Usually it's you and it's me that makes trading hard. It's not most of the time trading itself. It's the psychological barriers that live inside of who you are more times than not that make this so challenging. But the good news is we're really good here at the ATW at helping you overcome some of those things. So those of you that are Sniper owners, I'm enjoying working with you so much. Those of you that are checking things out on a free trial, I hope you realize and believe and find that this is the place for you. And those of you that are watching these videos from afar, just kind of taking it all in, I encourage you to come take a closer look, because what we're doing is the real deal. Lots of people are finding a lot of success, and we'd love to help you reach and exceed your goals as well. Thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your trading day, and I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow.